You're alone at night. You catch your face in a dark window. For just a second, you don't recognize yourself. Your brain freezes.
It moves
that
strangely.
split second of confusion,
We
that
are
flicker
trapped.
of not knowing who's staring back.
How will we
Early
cross
humans
this great
lived in that
blue
terror
river?
constantly. Because for most of human history, seeing your own face was rare, disturbing, and dangerous. We think mirrors are normal. Selfies, bathroom glass, screens everywhere. But your ancestors might go months, even years, without ever seeing what they looked like. And when they finally did, in still water, polished stone, or the eyes of someone else, they didn't always see a person. They saw something else. A double. A shadow self. A soul trying to escape. This wasn't superstition. This was survival instinct colliding with a brain that wasn't built to process self-image. And the fear that came from it shaped burial practices, social hierarchy, ritual violence, and the entire concept of identity in the ancient world. So what happened when early humans saw their reflection? Why did so many cultures believe it could steal your soul, trap you, or kill you? And why do we still feel uneasy staring at ourselves too long in the mirror, even now? Let's go back. 15,000 years ago. No glass. No metal mirrors. No phone cameras. You've never seen your whole face clearly in your life. You know your hands. You know your body from looking down. But your face, that's a mystery. You only know it through touch, through others' reactions, through the idea of what you might look like. Then one day, you kneel by a river to drink. The water goes still. And there it is. A face. Looking back at you. Moving when you move. Blinking when you blink. But something's wrong. It's reversed. The eyes don't feel like yours. The expression is delayed, like it's deciding whether to copy you. And the longer you stare, the less it feels like you. Your brain doesn't have a category for this. No one explained mirrors to you. No one told you that's just light bouncing back. All you know is, there's someone else in the water. And they know everything you're about to do. You pull back. Heart pounding. Because your brain just registered a threat it can't categorize. Not a predator. Not human. Not spirit. Something in between. That's the first layer. The neurological one. Human brains are wired to recognize faces faster than anything else. Faces mean social information. Ally or enemy. Safe or dangerous. But when you see your own face without context, without prior experience, the recognition system misfires. It sees a face. It sees movement. But it doesn't register as you. It registers it as other. And other means danger. Anthropologists studying isolated tribes in the early 20th century documented this exact reaction. People who had never seen mirrors were shown their reflections for the first time. Some laughed. Some reached out to touch the glass. But many recoiled. They didn't see themselves. They saw a stranger wearing their body. One account from Papua New Guinea described a man who refused to look at his reflection again after the first time. He said the face in the water was his brother, his dead brother, and if he kept looking, his brother would pull him under. That's not ignorance. That's pattern recognition. His brain built a story to explain an impossible image. And in his world, the dead lived in water, in shadows, in places between earth and sky. So a face in the water wasn't you. It was the part of you that could die. Now layer in the belief systems. Most early human cultures didn't see the self as one unified thing. You weren't just a body. You were a collection of spirits, shadows, breaths, and souls that could split apart. The body was temporary. But the shadow, the reflection, the breath, those were pieces of your life force that could be stolen, trapped, or lost. So when you saw your reflection, you weren't looking at an image. You were looking at one of your souls outside your body. Vulnerable. Exposed. Separated from you by a thin layer of water or glass. And if that soul got trapped, if the water rippled and the face distorted, if the surface broke and the image shattered, you could lose that part of yourself forever. This is why so many ancient burial sites show evidence of smashed mirrors, covered reflective surfaces, or bodies positioned face down. The reflection wasn't just a picture. It was a doorway. And if you died while your reflection was visible, your soul could get stuck halfway between the living world and the next one. The Greeks believed shadows and reflections were fragments of the psyche that could be captured by hostile forces. In some myths, to see your reflection too clearly meant you were close to death. Narcissus didn't just fall in love with himself, he got trapped by his own image, consumed by it, unable to look away until he died. That's not a metaphor. That's a warning. Because staring at your own face does something strange to your brain. Try it. Look at yourself in a mirror for 10 minutes without breaking eye contact. Don't blink. Don't look away. Just stare. After a few minutes, your face will start to distort. The eyes will look sunken or too large. The expression will seem wrong, like someone else is controlling it. You'll feel fear. Not because something's there, but because your brain is trying to reconcile the image with your sense of self, and it's failing. Psychologists call this the strange face illusion. Your brain's facial recognition system gets overstimulated and starts seeing faces that aren't there. Monsters, parents, strangers, the dead. It's the same glitch that made early humans think their reflection was something else. And that glitch had power. Shamanic traditions across the world used reflective surfaces, water, polished metal, black stone, as tools to access other realms. Because if your reflection was a separate soul, then you could talk to it. You could send it into the spirit world while your body stayed safe. You could use it to see the future, contact the dead, or communicate with gods. But it was dangerous. If you went too deep, you might not come back. If your reflection got damaged while you were separated from it, you'd go mad, fall sick, or die. In some tribes, children were forbidden from seeing their reflections until they reached adulthood. Because a child's soul was unstable, not fully formed. If they saw themselves too early, the shock could split them permanently. Even in modern folklore, the fear survives. Don't break a mirror. 7 years of bad luck. Don't look in a mirror at midnight. Cover mirrors when someone dies so their soul doesn't get trapped. We laugh at it now. But your ancestors didn't. Because for them, the reflection wasn't just an image. It was proof that the self could be divided. That you could be in two places at once. That identity was fragile, breakable, capable of being stolen. And maybe they were right. Because we still don't fully understand what happens when you see yourself. Philosophers have argued for centuries about whether self-awareness requires reflection, whether animals that recognize themselves in mirrors have consciousness, whether the image in the glass is really you or just a copy your brain insists is real. And we still feel it. That unease. That moment when you look at yourself and think, asterisk, who is that? Asterisk. Because the face you see isn't the face you think you have. It's reversed. Flattened. Slightly wrong. And the more you look, the less you recognize it. Your ancestors felt that wrongness and called it spirits. We feel it and call it dissociation. But the experience is the same. A split. A gap. A sudden terrifying awareness that the self is not solid. That you are made of pieces. And that those pieces can come apart. So next time you catch your reflection and feel that flicker of strangeness, don't dismiss it. That's not just your brain misfiring. That's the same ancient fear that made humans bury mirrors with the dead, avoid still water at night, and whisper that the face in the glass isn't really you. It's the thing that knows you better than you know yourself. And it's been watching you this whole time. What do you see when you stare too long?